Niagara Falls.
This can be in form of soup, tea, water, cooked grains, and boiled vegetables.
Hi, my name is Doreen Tuhidire, coming to you from Be Money Wiser, and we're going to be bringing to you the hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser by Mrs. T. Tilda Nabandra. We're going to be running this hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser on U24 television. Don't miss out.
U24. Don't miss on U24.
Entrepreneurs Hub, giving you a deep and unique insight into agribusiness, services, ICT and innovation, industrialization, and so much more. Entrepreneurs Hub, growing your small, medium, and large business entity. With yours truly, Sandra Kahunde.
This is Tano Tano from the Uganda National Lottery. Win up to 10 million every 5 minutes. That's right, a new draw every 5 minutes from 6:45 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Pick your numbers, choose your wager, or go to QuickPick and get in the game fast. Play at an authorized agent, online, or dial *278# from your phone. Win instantly. No waiting, no delay. Tano Tano is live. Your next chance to win is just 5 minutes away. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Hello, my name is Erica Murunchi and welcome to Be Inspired by Erica. So today I want to talk about class so that you can be able to learn whatever they are teaching so that you can not forget and pass your examinations. Number 4, always complete your homework so that you don't be in panic and you can use it for revision when you're about to do an examination. Number 5, respect your teachers and peers. If you respect your teachers, they can help you with some numbers that you don't understand, and your friends can also explain to you if you don't know a concept. Stay organized so that you can make your teachers happy. Learning discipline for a better tomorrow. Hello, my name is Erica Murunji and welcome to Be Inspired by Erica. Hope you're fine and happy to be alive. So today I want to talk about preparation for school. Welcome to a new chapter of learning. As you prepare for school, remember that this is more than just a new term. It's a fresh start to unlock your full potential. You have the power to shape your own success. Set goals, work hard, and believe in yourself. Don't be afraid to ask questions and seek help. You have got this. You are capable and strong. I wish you a blessed and successful term. May God keep you. Stay blessed. Much love.
Hello
everyone, my name is Erica Murunchi, and welcome back to Be Inspired by Erica. I hope you're fine. I hope your family members are fine too. So today we're gonna talk about being kind to everyone. Please, friends, be kind to everyone. Life can be hard and lonely, and if you're able to spread some goodness and positivity, do it without hesitation. Make people's lives better and make everything a little bit brighter. Surely, that's a good thing to do if the Lord has given you the capacity to do it. So let's stop trying to be hard to others, because we don't know who will lift us up tomorrow. Some people are going through a lot, so the least we can do for them is be kind to them. Do to others what you wish them to do to you. Life is like a circle, so please be mindful. What goes around comes around. Thank you for listening to me. Have a blessed week ahead, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. They all come in the names of Erica Murunji. God bless you. Much love.
On U24, we are here that you'll be inspired. Mpaire Amon Ortega is my name, joining you this very evening. Every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. we are always here to make sure that we give you information that we believe that is inspiring, and we always bring through the guests that are not only informative but also educating and inspiring. Joining us tonight on the State of Affairs is a very special team of guests who have used their art and creativity to express and also inform, transform communities about human rights. The gentleman that they are joining us tonight, on my far left is Vincent Jabinze, is the founder of Human Rights Arts Festival, and they're also coming from East African Visual Artists. Welcome, most welcome.
Thank you so much.
We also have Mwebaze Joseph, is the communications lead, coming from also SM, Human Rights Artists, and also East African Visual Artists.
Thank you so much.
Interesting. In today's edition, and the State of Affairs, we're going to be looking at how they are celebrating the creativity for justice, and we look at the role of artists in promoting human rights. To understand this, I want to also start with the founder who has the vision, or the vision bearer, of where you wanted this to be, and how have you gone, and how are you serving the people of East Africa. So first we can start with East Africa Visual Artist. What is it about?
Yes, thank you so much, Ambon. So East African Visual Artists, it's an organization that uses visual art as a tool for advocacy to advance human rights. So the organization was started in 2012 as a way of reaching the general public, or a wider audience, with information. So we've been evolving into different activities to see how do we reach the intended audience. Because when we talk about the intended audience, each institution or organization, they have their audience they are targeting. Now, we noticed that because we are talking about human rights, the basic rights that impact on all of us. So we said, okay, how do we get the concept from the boardroom, or from the workshops at a hotel, to the public, you know, to my grandmother in the village, to someone in the market, you know, someone with a basic education. Because we also looked at the literacy levels in our country. Most of the information here, it is in English, and it's easy to read English, but to interpret and understand the message, we noticed that that is a challenge. So we came up with the organization, and yeah, that's how we started the institution. And now we've grown into organizing festivals and other activities that really, really impact the society. We do documentaries that inform and educate the masses.
Interesting. I come to you, Joseph. East Africa seems to be wide. It comes to be big. Every day new countries added. Looking at its jurisdiction, looking at its population, how are you engaging? Where is your niche? Are you based in Uganda? How are you serving the people of Uganda? How are you extending routes to the other parts of the region?
Thank you so much for hosting us today as the East African visual artists. So we use the power of art to connect with the audience in East Africa. That's why we have the Human Rights and Universal Arts Festival, because this is a festival that we use to empower, to educate, to sensitize the public around the crucial issue of human rights. So the reason we base from here to surpass the whole world, we use YouTube and other media platforms to see that we connect with someone who is far away. We have had, at last year's festival, we had people from Congo, we had people from Kenya, we had people from Rwanda, and each time we put out maybe a call for artists to come and apply, we have had numbers that have come to the organizations and they have done great work. And that's why we brought in a new item that we shall talk on about, which I'll add on later, known as the East Africa, known as the Iyava Residence. So that Iyava Residence is looking at young emerging leaders who are artists who will be able to take them through series of education, mentorships that we connect through art.
Interesting. Vincent, what kind of art? There is a lot.
Yeah.
Videos, music, music industry is there, film industry is there, but also we see real art, drawing. And also drawing, I am told that there are different types of art. There are those who draw, there are those who are mold. What kind of art are you doing?
Yes, thank you. So as Iyava artists, we look at all genres of art. That is from performing artists to creative artists. So when we look at, I'll start with the creative artists. Those are the painters, people who do sculptures, people who do molding, like you say, or pottery, you can say that. And then we also have performing artists. We have poets who do poems. We have musicians. We have, and also hip-hop artists. But also then we have production, documentary production, because it's also part of art. Now, why are we looking at all these genres in their entirety? Because art is universal, so is human rights. But we all appreciate content in different forms. There are those when they listen to a poem, it will translate so easily for them to interpret the message. There are those when they go into a gallery in silence and they look at a painting, it connects with them so easily. And also now we look at our generation in East Africa. We look at East Africa as a whole. That's why we are East African visual artists. We have a youthful nation, a youthful population. And every year, universities graduate students who have done art.
True that.
So here is the niche. As we talk of human rights, we also look at economic empowerment. How do we empower people to be financially stable through art? So we could not say, let's only look at creative arts, visual arts, then how will we empower those who are into performing arts? Yeah. So because we look at emerging artists in all their genres, that's why we do art in its entirety, such that we can empower everyone and also to connect to every audience. Yes.
Where is your audience?
Yeah.
Or the target group that you are looking at?
That's interesting because everyone is our target group because human rights do not discriminate. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter where you work. It doesn't matter if you're old or young. They affect us all. I'll give you an example. If you're driving, let's say, and when you're driving, you eat a banana, then you throw the peeling outside. You throw a bottle outside, right? You see, you can say, it is my right, yeah? But then in the next morning, you're demanding government that, the city is very filthy. You get the point. So you're affecting everyone.
KCC is not doing their job. Municipality councils are not doing their job.
You get the point. So you're our audience because we want you to understand that however much it is your right, as you claim it is your right, but your rights should not infringe on someone else. Right now we are into the political season, right? You can be coming to work, and because someone is taking back their nomination forms, they close off the road. You've met them. Like someone is a councillor from, say, he's going to take back his nomination paper, but he has a group of people following him, so they close off the road. Just imagine you're taking maybe a patient to the hospital, so you have to wait for them to cross, and then, so it is their right. It's your right to vote, to be elected. But what about this person who is going to the hospital, who is going to work? So our audience, it's everyone. We don't have a segmented audience that we are targeting this group of people because human rights are universal and they affect all of us. That's why when we are doing our messaging, we look at how does it appeal to different age groups and how does it appeal to different communities. When we are doing the mural jam, we go to slum areas, because we want the murals to be there as a reminder that, for example, let's say we've just finished doing some murals on your right to vote, that as a reminder that every 5 years you go and vote your leaders. Because if you don't vote your leaders, you don't have a right to demand anything because you didn't take part in the process. So when we come to the festival, we have young artists, like people who do b-boy, you have people who do hip-hop, because now people come from different sectors. We have people from the NGO, we have people from, we have journalists, you have like a group of people. So you want them also to understand the message you're putting out. Yeah. So
how
our
do you
audience
coordinate them? How do you identify all these creatives and talents? It seems to be a very wide industry.
Yeah. That's a good question because, Uganda has a lot of talent.
True that.
But again, we have, I call them blockers, people who block other people from seeking the opportunity.
Not blockers who are
actually,
bridging the gap.
Actually, it's the same thing. Because you see even these blockers who block land here and there.
But at least those ones act as bridges and they link people, producers and those who are also consumers, or the sellers and the buyers.
Now it's also the same thing.
You have given us another definition of blockers. They are those who block opportunities
they
and the
block
blessings
people.
of others.
Yes, you get the thing. So
Okay.
it's now what we do is we put open calls. We put out calls for creatives. Every year when the festival is going to happen around, I think July, we put out calls. People apply, creatives apply to be part of the festival. They send in their content. We have a team that go through the content that is sent, and then they are selected to come to the festival. But now, that is what we've been doing the last 3 years. And now this year we introduced the Eva Arts Residence strictly for creative artists, the painters, the sculptors. We are looking at these emerging talents. So for 3 months, when we send out a call, they apply. Now when they apply, we get 6 artists. It's the most, the years of my life, something that I've found so difficult is to choose from a pool of talented people, 6 people. It is so unfair, but you know, it's part of the system. So these 6 resident artists, they do work under the theme, and then they are the ones now who are going to be exhibiting at the festival. Why are we doing that? Because we've noticed that when they come out of school, they need to learn from people who have been in this business for long. That art is not just about being decorative. It needs to be informative. Now, when art is informative, it becomes easier, yeah, for it to be marketed because it is communicating something. And because we know that our industry, it's a very tough business industry. If I came to you to sell you a painting, you will say, but now, why should I buy a painting when I can just walk into a supermarket and buy a craft and put it up there?
True that.
But remember, there is a parent who is struggling out there to send this child to school so that at the end of the day, they can contribute something to the family. So we looked at how do we contribute to the economy of the country.
Okay.
How do we empower young artists so that their work are marketable and they are sellable while they are promoting human rights? They have a cause at the end of the day.
Interesting. On the state of affairs, we are looking at the creativity of creatives and how they are transforming communities in East Africa and Uganda. And in the studios of U24, I do have these 2 gentlemen, Vincent and Joseph, who are inspiring us. They come from East Africa visual artists. Joseph, I come to you. Which platforms are you using? If we were to start with the festival itself that we are all excited to have, and maybe you can first inform, when is it, where is it going to take place, what kind of guests do you expect, and how can they be part? I expect you to answer all those questions in your submission.
So thank you so much, Abaye. So the festival happens from the 9th to 12th of October. So this year's festival will be happening at Zedson Art Space. As you're sloping on Kamwacha Road, just before the field, Kera Road Police. You slope down, there is Zedson. So we call everybody who's out there, who loves art, who loves human rights, but in a different form of art. So we are calling each and everyone who's there to come and join, to come and see raw talent that is interesting to watch and also learn. So with this theme, Defend, we are trying to see how do we use human rights to defend what we already have and push for more other things. How do you be part of this? Kindly follow us on all social media platforms.
Which platforms do you use?
So we use X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So you just put in Human Rights Arts Festival UG. It's the only human rights arts festival that is family friendly, that is welcoming, that does not discriminate each and everyone. So you're all welcome to be part of this.
Interesting. We're going to get back to that at the tail end of the program. And Vincent, looking at how many people are involved in the industry, are you not bothered that you're likely to be overwhelmed by the numbers? Because if we are to have all the creatives and those people who can just come and showcase their talent, plus as the audience who are willing to be part, how are you prepared to have and host these numbers?
Yeah, we have, when you're organizing an event, you have a security plan to see how these people they can come and live safely. But also, when we are inviting people, because we work around themes, and this year's theme is Defend. So when creatives, for example, want to be part of the festival to showcase their work, they apply. Now the call ended for creatives to be part of. Now the only thing that is remaining is for them to come and enjoy the art. But we will have security in place such that they can come. They expect to be safe. It is a family-friendly festival. the content that we exhibit at the festival, it is very friendly, it is very educative.
I was going to ask about some of the content that I've seen on different media platforms, but also some festival. And one is Bother did not bring their children to the festival. How are you dealing with that, especially those who are willing to come with their children?
When you look at the video that has been playing, you see we have children. We are so mindful. One of the things why this festival was inspired, it was partly because of the content that is now being put out in the audience. It is very difficult now for some of us to sit in the sitting room with the children and actually you watch music because you're scared. You don't know how the next scene looks like. You're not prepared to answer some of the questions these young lads are going to ask you. So this festival is bringing, it is reimagining, you know, an industry where the content is educative, is informative, that you're not scared of, you don't sit with a remote here, you know, that you have to blip and then switch and say, oh, no. So we tell everyone who wants to come to the festival, even when you go and look at the pages online, YouTube, the X and everything, you will see the content that is happening at the festival. You've seen that the festival starts early. Like now when you sit there, you see young lads who are doing b-boy. You've seen people who come with their kids and then they do family paintings. That when we start the festival in the morning, we make sure we stop early because people need to go back to their families. But we are so mindful of the content because our goal is to see how do we create content that is informative and make sure people love it. And we are so glad that you hosted us because the content that we are talking about, the subject that we are discussing, human rights, it is a sensitive subject. But now we have arts within the picture, you know? So we make sure, because art travels so fast and it inspires a lot of people, we make sure that the creatives know what they are coming in, that the content we expect must be educative. And also before the content goes out there, we go through it and say, no, this will work, this won't work, because we have a goal. We are not here to compete for airplay. You know that, you know, our festival has like the top artists. No, what we are here for is to inspire a generation of sane artists who believe that you don't have to be obscene for your content to be liked, but your content must be informative. I'll give you an example. We had Bakayimbilas, they used to do Ndiwulira Va Mukasoli. It was a game about, a play about HIV and AIDS. It was so informative. So that is what we are trying to revive, you know.
But you're reviving it in a generation or in times where we are prioritizing things that are obscene. If you posted one video of a girl dancing, perhaps half naked, in a few minutes you'd realize that there are more shares, there are more likes, there are more views than if you put there maybe a president's speech or in a program that is important or that song that is lighting the youth especially and everyone to live a healthy life. So how are you balancing? Of course you need numbers, but also you need to promote that institutional integrity and your personal integrity.
See, and that's where most people go wrong. They think it's about numbers, but it's about conscience. What are you looking for? You get. When you look at our page, maybe the TikTok page, it doesn't have so many followers, you know? But we are confident that it is growing organically. Because you know, also the thing with social media, it's like the same thing with everything. The moment you rush it, you promote ads, you do this and do that, it's not growing organically. We are trying to grow the festival with individuals who believe in the spirit of the festival. When we started the first edition, we had very few people.
When was that?
It was at Gothe Zentrum, the first edition.
In 2022.
2022?
Yes.
Oh.
Then, when we came into the second edition, the numbers grew up. You know, the third edition, the number grew up. So we expect the fourth edition also the number to grow up. Why? Because when people discover that actually this makes sense, they will follow you. You know, when sometimes people look at the numbers and say, well, when I put out a picture, like you said, of someone who is, you know, maybe dancing in a certain way and stuff, people will come and view. I always give people an example. There is a video which trended of a Ghanaian singer who was barking like a dog. Yeah, it trended so much. But you didn't go there to see, you went there to see, like, actually, can human beings bark like dogs? You know? So you don't need such clout. Now, when you ask yourself, where is he now? You know, you don't know where he is. So we are growing the festival organically, slowly, and we are happy that there are partners who are willing to come on board. Like, now you're here. You hosted us. You didn't look for, but you looked at the content and said, no, they need to be on State of the Nation.
Okay.
So that's what we're building on.
Quite interesting. Joseph, I come to you. Who are the partners? Vincent has just tipped us on the different partners. U24 now, by hosting you, we are indeed part of this.
Of course.
But what are some of the official partners, and how do you bring them on board? Maybe there could be others who want to be part of this game-changing initiative.
We have so many partners, and we welcome more people to come and join us for this wonderful cause. We have so many wonderful organizations that are joining up. We have Zambia Hospital, we have Center for Humane Justice, we have AHF Uganda Cares, we have GIZ, and so many other people that are coming up. But what I want to interest you is about the numbers. As a person who has been in the background, seeing how the numbers have literally grown, you see that when we sent out a call for artists last year, and also for filmmakers, we had 300 filmmakers all over Africa that applied in last year's edition. And we only had to pick 10 films that are very educative, and they were screened at the festival. This year alone, when we sent out a call for artists to be in the residence, we got 200 artists, and we only had to choose 6. And these 200 artists were from all over the continent, from West Africa, down in Southern Africa, and also East Africa. So you see that the numbers from 2022 to now, the numbers are increasingly growing, because there's a group of people that love Sen work, that love work that speaks to them. When you watch that video, you will see that human rights do not only affect you as a human being, but it's something that we need to live with on a daily basis. It's something that we need to be accountable for on a daily basis. We are going in for voting. The question is, if me and you, we don't agree, how do we disagree mutually and live when everybody is not at grudges with each and everyone? So we call upon people who want to join us to come and be part of this wonderful work. And also we thank you, U24 and UBC for bringing us to the State of the Nation, because you felt that this is something that we could show to the wonderful people out there.
Okay, maybe a kind of reminder and correction. This is the state of affairs. The state of the nation is by the big man of the land, so I don't want to cross our jurisdiction and our line. Vincent, how do you really balance art and real or serious human rights issues in our communities?
It is one of the things that give me joy when I see the leaders of today taking part. And the leaders of today, I mean, this generation, that we are adding something, and that's why we are using art. How do we balance this? Art is a very powerful tool. When we look at many generations, you know, people have used art to gain independence. People have used art to fight HIV and AIDS. Like I said, here we had the Ndulira. In South Africa, they used music, so that they can get their independence in 1994. When you look at the black movement in the US, so even here we've had performers who really, really transformed the nation through art. The key thing is your art needs to be informative. And when I talk about your art being informative...
Informative how?
Yeah, you don't need to lose...
Drawing a police officer, maybe manhandling a suspect or beating the suspect, or what do you mean?
Yeah, now you see, art doesn't have to lose its identity because it is advocating for human rights. For example, the analogy you've painted, then there I'm just picking a scenario that which happened on a street, right? And then putting it on a canvas.
Because when we talk about human rights, I am looking and imagining you putting that into a picture or a portrait, maybe a man beating the wife, domestic violence, maybe old people beating children, maybe starving children and denying them food, because we have a right to live, we have a right to eat, we have a right.
Yes.
So I would expect those that we have studied and read in papers and in books to be now into drawings. Is that what you do?
No. Now, there you're killing art. You see, when you try to copy from the newspaper and you bring to the canvas, and then you tell people, this is my art. Art, you need to be creative. When you look at that scenario, the one you've painted, for example, of a police officer manhandling a suspect, what is the story behind that? So as an artist, what we're from is you do research, look at the emotion of the police officer. What incidents led to that to happen? Now, when you have that, you create a piece that will intrigue your mind. Now, when you come to an exhibition, when the only thing you see is a translation of what was aired in the news at 9 p.m. or at 7 p.m., you'll not want to come back the next year. So what we are doing is let us maintain the art, but let it communicate. That's where the aspect of research comes in. That you don't just go into the newspaper and pick a story and then you put it out there. No.
But that would be part of my research.
Yeah, but then where is your creativity? You get, because then I need to see your creativity as someone who is going to do an exhibition. I need to see your creativity. Where is your creativity? Because if you tell me that, for me this is my work, and then it loses sense. That's where the residence comes in. But just a brief, that to answer that question very well, that's why we started a residence. And we want people to come and see the difference of how you draw the line that art and human rights, they can move like this, but it's a process. So the exhibitors have been taken through a process of how do you do a concept of an art piece. We want people to come and stand and think, because art is therapy. But you don't get that when you just translate, and this is a message to the creatives out there. You don't take people into therapy when what you're showing to them, they have seen it throughout the week. So what we are doing is we are maintaining art by empowering our creatives to do research, develop strong concepts, that how do you translate an incident of a policeman arresting a suspect, but when the viewer comes to look at your work, he goes through a journey until he reaches to understand that actually this is not right, that this is not right. So we've made sure as an institution that art doesn't die, because it's so easy for art to die and you just stay with a name. And now there we can't impact the economy, because who will buy that?
Okay. Ever since you started, what impact have you seen so far?
I would say we've seen impact in different ways. One, I will just point out 3 ways. One, we've seen the institution grow, and we've seen people appreciating art. Because, you know, as an artist, when you do an initiative, you want to see people appreciating it. Now, a lot of organizations, institutions are trying to incorporate art into their advocacy, because they have realized that actually art communicates better than these printed reports or sitting in a workshop. So you see now everyone is almost doing a live painting on an event. Because again, you want to document that. You want to document the emotions of the people in the room. Are they following what you're talking about? So we've seen that people have realized that actually art is a powerful tool that can inform discussions and then get solutions. 2, we are empowering artists. We've created a platform where creatives have a very nice stage, a very good exhibition to showcase their work.
Okay.
One of the things that has informed this is experience. When you're an artist, one of the most challenging things is how do you exhibit your work? For example, you're creative, you're just from school, but now you want also to build your profile. So we are helping them to build their profile by coming into the residence. They have an exhibition done professionally. Then performers have a platform to be seen, to be heard, and to be appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I come with Joseph on how can new talents, a talent I think is born, and I've seen children, young children in schools, in nursery, who have been able to do great things.
Yeah.
Yes. For those who may not get a chance to be in Kampala, we have talents all over the country, and I'm wondering how you're helping them to rise and shine.
That's how we came in with now taking the festival to different parts of the country, and we're beginning with this year. So this year we are going to Jinja, and we shall not get artists from Kampala to Jinja. We shall use artists from within Jinja, so that we empower them to see that they can put up their work as well. So when you look at this year's festival, how it has been structured, you will see that when we began with the art residency, we looked for 6 young people who are still in school, fresh off school. They have never had an art exhibition, and we said, no, let's give them a chance. And then when we are going to Jinja, we are now scouting out for raw talent from within the villages of Jinja. Those ones will be able to be part of the festival that will be on 25th of this very month. So that's, then we shall see that next year we go to another different city and different town, so that as we are looking for art. When you see the pool of poets that we normally have at the festival, they come from different communities that are all over Kampala, that are all over surrounding districts around Kampala. When you look at the video that has been playing around, we had a community of young people who have been displaced by wars, that's commonly known as refugees. They came at the festival, we gave them a chance, they aired out their views, and they said, we need peace, look, we don't want to fight, we need to do this. So the festival is trying to see that we use talent that is from all over the parts of the world.
Okay, interesting. We are looking at celebrating creativity for justice. Vincent, how then do we, or do you provide justice for those who are exhibiting their products and their art and their works, especially when we talk about something that has been giving many people headache? Copyright, patent. How can I know that my piece that I have given or have showcased in the festival is not going to be stolen by someone else and is going to be benefiting at the end of the day? How am I protected as an artist?
Yeah. So what we do, we enter into contracts with the artists, and we are specific that all the works exhibited at the festival, they belong to artists themselves. But also when, and we tell them that if the works are bought at the festival, and people have been there can testify to that, the money goes to the artists. It doesn't go to either artist or doesn't go to the Human Rights Festival. Why? Because we created this platform, one, to promote human rights, but to empower artists financially. So there is no way we can, again, be saying that, be preachers of, bring your works, defend human rights when we violate their rights. So we are specific, we enter into contracts with the artists that come exhibit. You have the rights to your work. When works are sold, even if someone comes to us and they pay, we tell you your piece was bought at this amount and this is your amount. I think no one can disagree with that.
And then also I want to supplement on that. We also have other partners we work with, not only in Uganda. When you look at people,
I've seen some white people, some Asians,
and all that. So when you see that people, the artists who had their work in 2022 and 2023, we had an exhibition in Milan, and this work was flown to that exhibition. And most of these artists, after selling their pieces, the money went direct to their accounts. So the festival not only empowers, but also it makes sure that these artists gain from their creativity, earn something from their work. And this is something that we are trying to teach them during the residency, that, hey, you can create work and still be accounted for it.
How do you ensure that these festivals and the initiatives that you have established and introduced, they remain inclusive and they represent diverse voices?
We have a policy whereby we can say like an equal opportunity, whereby we look at the number of women, the number of men who submit their works. Because we make sure that...
and people with disabilities.
Yeah, you've seen there the performer, a guy who is disabled with the sticks. So because our festival is inclusive, it is, one, it is family friendly, it is inclusive of everyone. What we look at is your talent. The only thing that matters is your talent. So we make sure that the venue is accessible, the stage is accessible for everyone. Because when we talk about human rights don't discriminate anyone. So we don't want to lock people outside.
Maybe I want to use this opportunity to ask if you have any story that you have worked on and you think it is transforming communities and lives.
Yes. Yeah, we have a story called Silent Disease. And
what is that?
Silent Disease.
Silent Disease.
Now,
okay.
Silent Disease is a documentary that we did in the slums around Kampala, particularly Chisenyi, Bakuli, and all that. And we did that documentary to air out to see that these young people are dying because of taking drugs. And it's a story that I would want the world to get to know, and I'll be able to share with you the video, and you'll see it. Young people in Chisenyi, in those areas of Bakuli, most of the slums around Kampala, are buying drugs, depending on drugs, and these drugs are very, very expensive. You find that a matchbox has 100 pieces, and each piece is 10,000. So that's why you'll be in your car in traffic jam, and someone comes and aggressively takes off your mirror because they're looking for 10,000 to add on to their addiction. So it's a story that we have done and we are proud of. And also the Human Rights and Universal Arts Festival, where we are seeing where it is coming from. We are seeing that perspectives are being changed. We are seeing now that the community is also growing and people are getting to know their human rights. People are not only demanding, they're not only defending, but they are as well being accountable for what they are doing. When you look at this year's sub-themes, we have freedom of expression, climate change. when you come at the festival, you will see that these young people are going to show you how we people are being dangerous to the environment that we live in. So I'll be able to share with you that.
That's an interesting story. I wish we also get those stories and we lead them and for the public to be inspired, because our number one mission here is to make sure that the people of Uganda and East Africa be inspired. Vincent, then I come to you. You said you started these festivals back in 2022, just immediately after COVID, I think. But what lessons have you picked from the previous editions that you want to rectify and work on in the upcoming edition?
We've worked on some of the things that we've learned. One was the need for information in communities. We've noticed that a lot of people are doing a lot of amazing things, but I would say in environment that doesn't translate their energy into what it needs to do. A lot of people do very nice research, they do very good reports, but now when it comes to dissemination, they invite people who are on their mailing lists, people who already know what they're going to talk about. Now, when we did the festival, the first festival in 2020, we noticed in 2020, we noticed that people want information, people want to understand these things. Then we noticed that not everyone can come to the festival. Then we started the mural jam, you know. So with the mural jam, we shall show you something there. I think we will talk to the guy there. When we started the mural jam, we go to the communities. What have we learned in the communities there? I'll share with you a story. And it's something that touched me. And there was this woman who shared a story about domestic violence. So they live in a community whereby a man was violent. He used to beat his wife every night. Now the wife could run to the LC women leader. So what this woman told the other woman is that don't cry in silence, make an alarm, because you can't be running to my house every time. Now, when this woman noticed that I can't run for refuge in my neighbor's house, and again I could not make an alarm because people would laugh at me. One day they woke up, the woman never woke up. So they were like, what happened? The husband has beaten the woman to death, so the woman died. But what did I learn? That communities have methods on how they can curb this violence. Because if this woman had made the alarm, they could come in. But now you don't learn that when you sit in a workshop somewhere with people who you worked with 20 years. But anyway, so that is something we've done. We go to these communities and listen to them. Then we translate that into action. Two, we noticed that when artists come out of school, they don't know the market trends. They don't know how to generate an income from their art. Yeah. So now the residency is empowering them to know how actually your art can translate into something. We've made sure they do studio visits with people who have been in this industry for some time, people who have made a living from the art industry. So the lessons we pick from each festival, we translate them into action. But then also to see how the festival has grown, one of the things we've made sure of is that, because what the audience demands is what we put. Now this year, we've incorporated an information exhibition. So we are inviting these other non-government organizations and even government we are going to give them a booth for free to exhibit the material they are working on, things they have done, so that now they talk to the people themselves and then they can take action.
Interesting. Joseph, you are in charge of communication. And in your introduction, you said that you use social media platforms. Yes. And what is trending these days is social media. And I'm wondering if you're using digital media also to promote the festival, but also how are you bringing on board ideas or initiatives like social media creativity, where most of the youth and most of the people are now engaged in, are you looking on how you're also bringing that creativity? Because so very many people would love to experience that, because we are all moved and all using these digital platforms.
So when you look at when the artists come in the residence, we have a place, or one of the sessions we take them through is the use of digital media to promote their work. So when we teach these artists to promote their work, we tell them to use their social media platforms to be accountable, not to just only post works that don't speak about their work, to make sure that they're also disciplined while using these digital platforms. At this year's festival, there's going to be a challenge on that day from the 9th to 12th. There will be a challenge that we shall ask individuals to post, like using the hashtag Human Rights Arts Festival UG. So once you post using your social media platforms, you'll be able to win yourself something using those using that hashtag.
That would be interesting. Any challenges you have encountered ever since you started this, Joseph? I mean, Vincent?
Yes. Challenges are always there, but we find a way of maneuvering them. Yes, we for example, one of the biggest challenge we've faced is that mobilizing people to get into the concept of human rights and art. But now, slowly by slowly, we are solving that problem. The other thing is that we want government to understand one thing, that when they talk about creatives, it's not only about musicians. That has been my problem, that when they talk about creatives, it's only musicians. But the industry is
they are
so
training the others?
Yeah, but now the others, the musicians have swallowed the industry.
Maybe the others are not raising up to stand for their cause.
I think we are raising up, but because our genre, people think it's a silent genre. They don't know how powerful that genre is. But we believe as we've started, we will get the platforms and opportunities to see how we can engage on intellectual property, to see how we support government. Because you see, the thing is, we creatives, we are one of the biggest supporters of the tourism industry. All around the world, each country you go to, you want to buy a souvenir, which is a craft. People when go to Dubai, they buy the Burj Khalifa. People when go to Paris, now people when they come here, they want to buy the elephant, they want to buy the Ankole cow. You get? But those things are created by the artists. You get? So we one of the supporters, the biggest supporters of the tourism industry. That's why we are trying to see how do we streamline ourselves to engage strategically, so that also government gets to understand. Like I told you, because the concept. People think it's a new concept, yet it's an old concept which has lived with us all these years. Yeah? So we are trying to see, okay, how do people start to understand that art is not just about decoration, to decorate your office, to decorate your living room, but actually it's a tool that empowers communities and adds value to the nation as well.
And then also, Aaron, to add on that, I feel that every home should have a piece of art to spark conversations in the room. Because when you have art, people ask you, what inspired you to buy that?
That's
What's
an
the
interesting call to action.
So if everybody buys art and goes
everyone.
into their room, they'll be able to spark conversations around that. When you go around Zambia Estate, there's opposite GMS, there's a mural that we did whereby a woman is trying to unmask off her face to show the real face. That it's a reality that we all go through, whereby we keep smiling, but inside us we are dying. So, and at least I've had conversations with the mural, with the mural and the community, and it is really challenging people to speak and have conversations around mental health.
But also realize that you have made all your products very expensive, and that somehow limits our interaction with you people. Everyone would love to have that piece in their living rooms, but you'd realize that they are quite expensive. I'm still enjoying the conversation, but unfortunately time is not on my side. I would request to give your parting shots and concluding remarks. I'll start with you, Joseph.
So my parting shots would be, I'll tell people to follow us on all our media platforms. That's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And I would encourage the population to go and watch that documentary, the trailer that is there, The Silent Disease. It is a problem that is really affecting us, and also to come and be part of this year's festival. I promise you, you will like it, because at this year's festival, we also have what we call painting, live painting. You'll be able to go home with something from the 9th to 12th of October at Zenson at Space. So thank you.
Interesting. Vincent, sum it all.
Yes. So I want to first thank you for hosting us here today. But I want to call on everyone to understand that human rights are universal, but also we have a duty to defend our rights and defend the rights of others. You should not infringe on others' rights because of your own rights. And again, I want to call all of you to come at Zenson Art Space on the 9th to 12th and see what art can do to change minds. Then also join us on the 25th in Jinja. And always remember that art is a powerful tool that can change minds, start dialogues, but also to help us live in harmony and remember our heritage, where we come from. Because when you paint it, you keep it, you're archiving something for the future.
When you paint it, you keep it, and you're keeping that memory forever. Brings us to the end of our conversation on the state of affairs. And I want to thank you, gentlemen, Vincent, and the founding member of the Human Rights Arts Festival, but also coming from East African Visual Arts, and also Joseph Mwewaz is communications lead, and I want to thank you for making time to come through on U24 and the state of affairs. Every Thursday we bring you the guests of this venture to inspire and also inform you. I want to believe that you've been inspired in today's edition. Until next time, same station, same program, and same time. From me and the entire team on the state of affairs, I want to wish you the best for God and my country. I'm Paide Amon Otega. Allow me to sign out.
From my habit.
Now listen.
In my home, legal lines are scripted by legal acts to legalize my demise. In my home, my roof of shelter leaks, and through that crack seeps a slime that prohibits my speak. The kitchen from where I eat is where the providers cheat and take my lot, take my lot, take my lot for their own keep.
Oh, Uganda, the land of freedom. There is freedom of speech, but prison after speech.